Hi there, this is Rob at Reason101.net, and I'm here with another Reason 5 tutorial for you. This one I am calling the Dr. OctoKong, and it's a setup that I've put together because a couple people on the board have been talking and chatting about how you can start and stop loops using a pad to turn the loop on and turn the loop off. So I have actually set it up fairly easily using a group of Dr. OctoRexes with Rex files loaded and a Kong as the main sequencer. You'll notice that there's 10 up here, but you can put as many as you want, really, up to 16. And the way it works, if you press down on a pad, you'll hear the loop start. If you let go, it stops. Also, on your keyboard, if you play C1 and up, you'll notice that you can play it and stop it. And the cool thing is it's velocity sensitive. That's right. You can play around with the velocities on it. Very sweet. Okay, so how do we accomplish something like this? The main key, I will actually go through starting it. But actually, before I do that, let me show you the other thing that you can do, which is really cool. I'm just going to direct your attention here for a second. If you look in the help file for Reason 5, you'll notice that C1 to D sharp actually goes through from pad 1 to pad 16, so you can play all your pads from C1 up. Those are the main keys that you should use in order to play these loops. And what's going to happen is you can play multiple loops at the same time. You're not going to see it being played. In other words, you're only going to see the light go on the pad at one point in time, but it's still going to play through. And I'll just show you how that's done. So I'll play one pad, then I'll play another one, add another one in, take them off if you want. So that can add to a lot of fun. I've also added a few different parameters up here, so if you play through, I've added an envelope filter, filter frequency, so you can do filter sweeps, filter resonance, you got the LFO amount, which is affecting your oscillator. Turn off the LFO sync if you want. So you can get a lot of glitchy stuff out of that. We've got an octave up, got an octave down button, and you can change the filter mode from an LP12 to a bandpass. So there's lots of fun you can have with this. So let me show you how you can do this. Okay, let's close up this combinator for now. Let's put that on mute. I'm going to create a new combinator. Inside the combinator, I'm going to create a line mixer. I am also going to I'm going to hold down my shift key when I do this, and I'm going to create a Kong drum designer. I'm not going to hold down my shift key, and I'm going to create an OctoRex loop player. So when you flip it around, you'll see that the loop player is connected up to the first channel on the mixer. That's exactly what you want. And you're not going to be using any of the audio from Kong. You're just going to be using the CV. And the easiest thing, this is so easy, and I can't even believe that how simple this is. And sometimes the simplest ideas are the best ones to go with. Take a gate out CV cable, put it to your master volume, and turn the trim knob all the way up to 127. Okay, what this does, if you turn it around, what it's going to do is you have this run button. Okay, so if you click on run, what's happening without that CV there, by pressing run and by loading up a loop, it continually runs in the background, right? Watch what happens when you plug in the CV. It shuts it off because CV is actually triggering the volume. It's still running though. So what is going to actually turn this loop on for you to hear it is pressing down on the pad. Okay, but when you lift up off the pad, you'll notice that it stops. That's the beauty of it. That's the simplicity of this whole design. So once you got that done, let's actually take the OctoRex. Let's duplicate the device. I'll duplicate it 2 times, and I'm going to load up a different loop here. That's a good one. Let's load up another loop here. Let's actually go for that's a pretty good one. Okay, so now we've got 3 loops in here. Let's flip it around. Let's close this down for a second. Let's do the same thing. We'll put the gate out into the master volume knob. Okay, and whoops, put that over here. Gate out to the master volume. Now you've got 3 loops in here that are played from all the different pads. Of course, in order to get this done right, you actually have to plug in the audio. So do that. Now when you turn it around, you've got your other loops. But they're not playing. And why is that? Because this run button is not on. So in order to get them all on at the same time, click Run Pattern Devices. And you'll notice now they're all on. Same thing with this one. So all the run buttons are on. So that's a quick way to get them running and to turn them off. If they're turned off, you're not going to hear anything, obviously. Turn them on, though, you're still not going to hear anything until you press the buttons. Press those pads. Okay, and the other thing is, while you can play this, you can play them all at the same time. The only other drawback to this is that they're free running, so they're not going to re-trigger when you press the pad. They're basically free running. So yeah, that shouldn't deter you though, because I mean you can have a lot of fun with this kind of setup. The other thing that you can do is you can play around with some of the different parameters. Like I could put an envelope here, I could put a filter frequency here, I can put the resonance here, and I can put the LFO here. Okay, button 1 I'm going to use octave up, or octave down rather. Button 2 I'm going to use as the frequency type or mode. Button 3 is going to be my octave up. And button 4 is going to be my LFO sync. And the way you do that is for each of the OctoRexes that you have here, I'm just going to go through one, but you're going to basically put in your parameters. So oscillator envelope amount is going to be on rotary 1. Rotary 2 is going to be the filter frequency. Rotary 3 is going to be the filter resonance. Rotary 4 is going to be your LFO amount. Button 1 is going to be your octave down. So this is going to be from 4 to 3. Button 2 is going to be the frequency mode or the filter mode. And you're going to do 3 to 2, which is going to give you the low pass when it's not lit and the band pass when it's lit. Button 3 is going to be the octave again, oscillator octave, but this time we're going to go from 4 to 5. And then button 4 is going to be the LFO sync enable. Okay, so now that's all set up. It's only set up on pad 1. You're going to have to do this for all of them. But now you can play around with the parameters. Okay, so you can have some fun with those. Now, if you want to play around with this, what I would suggest is that you take this Kong and create a track for it. And now you got Kong 2. I'll just close these other tracks for now. So on Kong 2, while you're on there, if you want to record anything in there, what you're going to do is you're basically going to play around with your parameters. And and you can record your track to that, or you can record to the Kong track. So that's just a little bit of what you can do with this type of setup. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you come visit me at reason101.net. I will be providing this patch to you in a couple of days once I put together a quick tutorial on it. And so come back to my site and you can get that there. Thanks a lot for listening.